Richard, how do you organize these councillors and, of course, the people who are supposed to mobilize others within the community to actually form their own groups that eventually are supervised by the divisional mayors and councillors?
Every politician is looking at a heaven of a political position.
Yeah.
Whether it's in 2016 or any other year, they have aspirations.
Yeah.
And we figured out a way through which no one has given them a platform to demonstrate their leadership.
Yeah.
And in the process, we elect them and they sit and wait for the next election.
Yeah.
Now we've given them responsibility where they all have to shine, or someone has to shine. And when someone shines, definitely that person has an opportunity to be considered in another position than just a councillor.
Yeah.
So we're using this as a platform to motivate them, to give them an opportunity to demonstrate leadership beyond words.
Okay.
And the community will be keen to see which division wins and for what reasons.
If you're to compare CityYange to Maganda in Rwanda and to what happened in Kenya and what happened in Tanzania, where would you place CityYange?
CityYange is so unique that I wouldn't place it anywhere. This is a lot of things. One, the cleanliness is just a process. It's just an activity that helps people take pride in owning responsibility in the city to improve their living and working environment. That's one objective. The other objective is Kampala doesn't have an iconic symbol. Whereas Nairobi will have the other tower they have. Probably New York would have the Statue of Liberty.
And so is Paris. But we have Clock Tower.
Yeah, but how come the airlines don't use it on images to show us, are you going to Kampala?
That's the question I want to
should tell you that it's not iconic. It's not iconic. It can't communicate. It can't give us an identity. It can probably locally in our minds, but it's not something that you can use to communicate a brand like Kampala. So CityYange also provides Kampala City with a vibrant brand which people can identify with time. I'd like to see someone wearing Kampala CityYange in New York. Why do I have to see just guys wearing I love New York in Kampala? That tells me that probably my brand is not strong enough. So the platform is really wide. And as I said, others might be driven by law. We're driving it by love.
How do you plan to take us to 2062 with this project?
You see, when you've attached an award that is rotational, it's a civic program. The award only goes, and it's a beautiful award, it only goes to the division that has the highest scores through the zones. Now, it means that it sits with the divisional mayor, and they're able to show off that as what they've been able to win. But next year, someone else has to win it. Or they have to retain it by working harder. So that is self-sustaining because now it's become competitive by virtue of the resources you've attached to it, but also the prestige and what it is communicating and building profiles of politicians. So every division, if, for example, Nakawa wins it this year, then Rubaga is not going to sit back and say, let's wait. No. 3, the value of land, of property in these divisions is going to be affected by Kampala CityYange, because you imagine you going through streets and they are beautifully lit and they have all these fountains made by people and flowers and trees. That's the sort of environment you want to live in. So definitely the cost of price will have to go up in 5 years. And in that process, we have a feeling that there's always more that is better than what we have today.
That's true.
And that process in itself is timeless. That process will get you to 2062 and beyond. Because there's always, even Singapore, there's something more they can do to live in a better and live and work in a better environment than they have right now in Singapore. Yet we are seeing them as they've already arrived. So there's always room for development.
This initiative, of course, attracts a lot of money to be in place for you to be able to roll it. How are you getting the funding?
When you always have a vision, you have to get the first funding from your own reserves.
Yes.
So we have about 4 people who've put quite a lot of time into this.
Yeah.
And people like Isaac Rucci, Geoffrey Ekongot, Keen Kawesa, the director of NBS TV. These are people who've supported the initiative to actually start. But also we were very fortunate to work with Warid, who saw the CityYange dream.
Yeah.
And they said, you know what? This is the sort of thing that can actually transform the city.
Yes.
And we're fortunate that immediately after our birth on 11/11/11, a month or 2 later, we were able to have a solid partnership where they are able to pay for the operational costs. Like we now have a staff team of about 9 people who work, 24/7 on CityYange. We have our offices on Media Plaza. That space, beautiful offices, are paid for, furniture and stuff. So Warid is paying for the operational costs that enable us to be able to do this on a daily basis.
Which city would you pick as your best city and the cleanest city?
For me, it was Vancouver.
Okay.
Vancouver is an amazing, I think it was because they have these pine trees planted all over the place. So even when they are in fall, where the rest of the plants in America are drying off of leaves, Vancouver is still green, before the snow heats up, and the rain, it's always, it's dust free, it's cozy little homes and among forests and trees and stuff. So in my mind, when I think about cities, I think more of Vancouver. It always comes in my mind as the dream city that is not really just too fast, but it's vibrant enough without compromising on the environment.
We've not seen the Richard Kawesa, the musician, out there. What's happening? Have you retired?
No. When I was 16 years, I had 3 questions I asked myself. If God gave me 60 years, what do I want to achieve in life? And the other one was, what do I have within me to help me start the journey of a 60-year-old? And lastly, beginning. Music giving me a vehicle to be relevant to myself, but also to be a tool for expressing all the ideas and the dreams I have for Africa.
Okay.
And so I never came into music as an end in itself. It has always been a tool. Always. So when I don't have what to say through music, I have an opportunity to express it using other vehicles that are equally important. I have capacity to create and generate programs. So all these programs, I Am Ugandan, CityYange, these are all musical projects. They're based on the tool of music, but they push the nation towards a certain place that I have a dream for.
This is Tempra Omona, and I'm here for one thing. The Luo Bash at Stakeout Kampala tonight. Come hang out with me and lots of Luo artists from all over. Come get a full experience of the Luo culture, the food, the people, the music. Come have a good time. It's 10,000 shillings tonight. Stakeout Kampala. Don't miss. I'll be there. New songs. Ginyi Ginyi. Stakeout tonight.
From singing, music, to CityYange, dealing with policy and cleanliness. How does the two work?
You know what? I consider myself a fearless influencer of society. I'm not a politician, but I might be a social activist. And when you have the platform that we've been blessed with, where you're able to use the music, or you can exploit your celebrity to speak to people. This is how they come together. People have loved the music that we did from Limit X. And I just want to thank the fans, and we are working on something. The rumor is true. Limit X, there is a reunion.
Actually coming back.
Yes. But also want to use this platform to do good. For me now, significance or relevance or success can no longer be defined by how much money I have in the bank account. Been there, done that, bought the t-shirt, I've driven the nice car, lived in the big house. What next? Right now, I want to be significant, relevant. What am I doing for the city today that I live in, that that helps me make the money that I make? What can I do for this city? And the one thing that I can do about it is drive this kind of initiative where you get the citizen of Kampala, to own up. When there's ownership, there's responsibility.
So which city in Africa would you like to see Kampala compared to when you guys are actually done with making this beautiful work come through?
Kampala. You want to get me in trouble? But you know what? I like what the Nigerians have done with Abuja. I think Lagos got very hectic. They went up north, started all over again. They have a city that stands out. It's a clean city. It's a modern city. Would love to see Kampala get that way. And Nigeria actually does some of the things that we're trying to do here. They've been doing it for the last 20 years. They clean their cities, and for them it's policy. It's mandate. You have to do this. Same as in Rwanda. Right here, we're pushing the goodwill. We want people to do it. Eventually, Jennifer and Lukwago and the parliament will decide and say, you know what? Every Saturday is by law, 6 to 11, clean the city. But right now, we're riding on the goodwill, and keep the goodwill coming.
Well, thank you so much, Isaac. I'd like to congratulate you guys for doing a great job. I think Kampala CityYange is going places. And I want to look right there and talk to 25 million people that follow XXL every single week. They're the big family of XXL, and ask everyone to actually join. When is the next CityYange?
Next one is 28th of this month, and this happens every last Saturday of the month. Just mark it, every last Saturday of the month. Participate wherever you are. Find your councillors, find your parish, join them, do something. If you can't join them, clean your environment, your house, outside the place of work. Let's do this together as a family. CityYange.
And stop throwing water bottles and caveras, buveras in the city when we're driving. Because for me, when I see you, I'll knock you. Okay, CityYange will defend me.
No, he won't knock you. But don't do it. It's your city.
Now, you can be a part of XXL family growing bigger and better by simply following us on Twitter or on Facebook. Or better still, send your text message to 8198. Of course, we will read your information right here. And of course, XXL at houseoftalent.ug. Until next week, you keep it locked.